In this video, we take a look at the worst prisons in Africa. While some prisons in Africa are actually quite good with toilets, gym rooms, and nice food, there are still numerous prisons in Africa that can rightfully be referred to as hell on earth. Nelson Mandela once said that to know the actual state of the nation, you have to visit its jails. If Africa was to be judged by the state of its prisons and correctional facilities, the continent would be staring at a bleak future. If you are incarcerated in the worst prisons in Africa, you will have one hell of a sentence because the conditions are not human-friendly. Prison is not a fantastic place to be anyway. While inmates must be held accountable for their actions and serve the time imposed on them, they are still human beings that deserve to be treated with some level of humanity. However, this is not the case in most African countries. Here are top 15 worst prisons in Africa. Maula Prison in Malawi. This facility is located in Lilongwe, Malawi. Maula Prison was intended to house 800 inmates, but now holds more than 1,800 inmates. Overcrowding is a dire issue. Almost 200 people are crammed in a cell built to host 60 inmates. Chichiri Prison, Malawi. It is one of the harshest prisons in Malawi. It is located in Blantyre and is one of the largest prison facilities in the country. The prison was built to house 800 prisoners instead of the 2,000 currently detained there. The conditions in the prison facilitate the spread of diseases such as tuberculosis. Prisoners are fed just once a day and the small budget that the government allocates to the penal system. The quality of the food is miserable. As a consequence, cases of malnutrition are common. Prisoners sit in an overcrowded cell during the night and they struggle to even sleep. Luzira Maximum Security Prison, Uganda. This is a maximum security prison for both men and women in Uganda, and it houses the death row inmates. It is located in the Luzira neighborhood in Akwaya Division in southern Kampala. The prison was designed to host 1,700 inmates, but it has more than 8,000 inmates. There are more than 40 inmates crammed into bare cells measuring just 8 meters by 8 meters. Such tightly packed wards allow for little ventilation in contravention of international standards. The limited sleeping space means that the inmates are forced to sleep in lines or packed together. Congestion in the cells has been blamed for the spread of diseases such as TB. Makala Prison in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Makala was built to house 1,500 inmates, but it actually hosts more than 9,000 prisoners. Besides overcrowding, the prison cells are dilapidated with almost non-existent sanitary facilities. Tiny amounts of food are provided for one meal a day, and many inmates are forced to sleep without shelter due to the lack of space in cells. There have been reports of inmates dying from hunger and lack of medicine in this facility. Jimeta Prison, Nigeria. The Jimeta prison, located in Damaturu, Yobe State, is considered extremely dangerous because it often houses religious extremists and terrorists linked to Boko Haram, making it prone to violent attacks. In 2012, there was a break-in the prison where 40 suspected Boko Haram members attacked the facility. The security situation is so bad that inmates in this facility aren't certain of seeing the next day. There have been allegations of men molesting other men, forcing the new prisoners to join a gang to seek protection. Drakenstein Prison, South Africa. The prison is located between Franschhoek and Paarl in Western Cape of South Africa. It is here that Nelson Mandela spent the last part of his imprisonment campaigning against apartheid. The facility is famous for holding the imprisoned gang members and for promoting gang violence. It is one of the most dangerous prisons in South Africa. There are recurrent malnutrition problems, lack of adequate health care, and poor sanitation in the facility. Gitarama Central Prison in Rwanda. Gitarama Central Prison is one of the worst prisons in Africa. The prison has been described as hell on earth. The LA Times once said, "There's no space remaining in hell today. The doomed already feel it. They live, sleep, eat, rot, and die squeezed together, 4 men per square yard in the roofless brick box that is Gitarama Prison." The prison was designed to host 400 people, but in the wake of the Rwandan genocide, the inmate population rose to nearly 7,000 by the mid-1990s. Prisoners have been described as left for dead, and they can wait for as long as 16 years without ever receiving a trial date. It's even been claimed that some inmates resorted to eating one another's flesh out of sheer desperation. Black Beach Prison, Equatorial Guinea. Notorious for human rights offenses, this prison has become synonymous with guard brutality, malnutrition, overcrowding, rat infestations, overpopulation, no healthcare, and little food. It is common for prisoners to die from chronic disease. Although Black Beach's infamous old buildings were replaced 5 years ago and the facility now boasts a hospital wing and pharmacy, the prison still ranked as one of the worst prisons in Africa. In 2008, a special reporter for the UN expressed concerns that torture was frequently used to secure convictions in Equatorial Guinea and that corporal punishment was used in prisons like Black Beach. Prisoners have reportedly died following prolonged beatings, and there are also indications that political prisoners have been held in solitary confinement for as long as 4 years. Kamiti Maximum Prison in Kenya. Situated on a 1,200-acre lot, Kamiti Maximum Prison has gained notoriety due to the unspeakable squalor that the prisoners are subjected to. The prison, which holds a number of political prisoners, has earned a reputation for instances of sodomy, beating of inmates to death, and epidemics where malnutrition, cholera, and ulcers were normal occurrences. The Mukobeko Maximum Prison, Zambia. Mukobeko Maximum Prison cell was originally built to accommodate 1 inmate per cell. However, now it holds up to 15 prisoners. With little ventilation, the prison often experiences outbreaks of diseases such as TB. The prison is also known for its guard brutality, malnutrition, rat infestations, and overpopulation. Kirikiri Maximum Prison, Nigeria. The Kirikiri Maximum Security Prison, the most popular prison in Nigeria, is infamous for its congestion. Besides the problem of overcrowding, as there could be up to 50 inmates in cells intended for fewer people, it is also infamous for its degrading treatment of prisoners, appalling living conditions, substandard medical care, and a very high death rate. Kinshasha Penitentiary in Congo. Kinshasha Penitentiary is a prison in Congo with more than 850 prisoners packed like sardines into a facility built for 150. Disease outbreaks is a daily occurrence in the prison. In 2009, the prison was named the worst in Africa by a top United Nations human rights official. Chikurubi Maximum Prison in Zimbabwe. Chikurubi Maximum Prison is the largest correctional facility in Zimbabwe and one of the worst prisons in Africa. Located on the outskirts of the country's capital, it houses 17,000 prisoners. The cells typically measure 9 meters or 30 feet by 4 meters, and there can be as many as 40 prisoners housed in each cell. Chikurubi Maximum Prison, just like the other prisons on this list, is known for its overcrowding, guard brutality, malnutrition, no healthcare, and poor sanitary conditions. Prisoners here spend much of the days locked up and have few recreational opportunities. So there you have it, some of the worst prisons in Africa. Thanks for watching African Edge.